Hello everyone, this is Jay High from Couch and Keyboard, and here I am with another Smash player profile, this time with Axe. Now Axe is one of the few top level players not invited that didn't get into Full House Siege. Some people think he was a little bit shafted by it. Either way, he's still at the top of the game, doing a great job, and I don't want to spend too much time just like reading all his results, because first of all, that take a long time. But also, he's one of the most well-documented Smash players just because of how amazing his journey has been. There's so many good videos out there about Axe. I encourage you to look up those. I'm not going to tell a worse version of those videos, pretty much. I'll go over kind of the broad strokes. His wiki has a really good detailed. There's also a Last Talks Legends video about him beating J-Man at Genesis. He's predominantly from Arizona, so players like Taj, Vector Man, I think Wobbles was there a little bit, Ty, Meds was there a little bit too. There was a pretty solid region, and Arizona being pretty close to like the, SoCal, maybe a little bit, eventually you can get to like Vegas. So it's like, it's not super close to those two places, but it's like, it's for like regionals and stuff. It became a pretty good opportunity. Now Genesis was in NorCal, so this was a bit farther, but still on the same coast. You can make a drive with your buddies and all that, and so that's what he started doing. He also went to Apex 2010. Apex is known to be like a New Jersey event, and he started traveling at a pretty early age. And then, started doing very good, beating Colville, Hacks, doing all right here and there, beating Pew Pew. He became known as very good at the Marth matchup, but not necessarily good at other matchups at certain points. A tournament I just covered, because I did Kage for the best Ganos of all time. He had a very good a run here, getting third place, and we can kind of go back to the retro rank. So this is kind of a tool that people use to look back and approximate the early parts of Melee, and we see that the Pikachu secondary by the tag of Rory, which I haven't really heard of. I don't know a ton besides the Doc people, like the Ken Vociferous, Isaiah Azen, Wes. I don't know a lot of other people from that. But yeah, so we didn't see much Pikachu after that. And then, we kind of get through, okay, the Brawl release, people kind of come back for Revival Melee, Genesis, stuff like that. And then Axe gets the win, but doesn't quite make a splash. The Apex 2010 really helps him here, getting in this top 20-25 range, and then gets into this upper echelon, and kind of sticks around and doesn't leave for a long time, staying in that, near that top 10 range for a while. And that was really, really impressive, and I think that his ability to get these good wins has really made people impressed. I think that Pikachu being such a popular character in media as a whole, but not having ESAM has done a great job. Modern, you have like Shiny Mark, 64. You have a lot, but like Melee is a lot of people like that's the classic, like that's the refined, like it has such a good balance, and the fact that Pikachu has been carried by so much by Axe. Like there's been a few recently. I made a video pretty recently about other Pikachu's, but the legacy, like Axe, is just so. It is so impressive, and he. It says that he was pretty much like right below the Five Gods because he was able to take these sets. He beat HBox at MLG Anaheim 2014. He beat PPND at one point. I forget where it was. It might have been earlier. Yeah, I forget exactly. But M2K. Sometimes you get kind of bodied by M2K. But we see here was able to get a really good win on it at M2K here. And yeah, so MLG Anaheim was kind of his like huge thing here, And we see in the official ranking, we see in 2013 got 11th, 2014 all the way up to 7th, where it was the 5 gods, and then Leffen was right behind, and then Axe, Hacks, Westball's Koval. Like, that was a pretty solid, like, that seemed to be a pretty agreed upon ranking here. Sometimes old rankings, people don't really take them seriously, but this felt very comprehensive, to where Axe is right on the cusp, and like, he'll get a few wins, but sometimes he kind of is this gatekeeper. And yeah, he kind of stayed around there, going down a little bit. 2015, 2016, 2017 went up to 7th. 2018 went down to 10. Getting a few good wins here and there. Had a few good Genesis runs. But 2019 was when he was really shining. Now, this was also the main year. Technically, it was early December, but Ultimate was released. And there was like one main melee player that was not really going with Ultimate very much, from my memory, and that was Axe. You had a lot of people trying it out, and, you know, streaming it. Mango and HBox, and all 3 of these guys at the top had really large streams, partially due to Ultimate. But Axe kind of stayed in his lane and was playing melee, and I mean, he had a 2nd place run at Genesis, losing to HBox. So he got 3rd for the summer, and then 4th for the year. Really, really impressive. Which, you know, a big part of the success here was in 2019, he won his first major, which was Smash Summit 8. This bracket was crazy. It was so impressive. Now, there's no coincidence that Armada's retiring allowed for there to be more people to make these runs. That's absolutely true. But, I mean, Axe had taken him to, like, last game before. So it's not like, I think it was going to happen eventually. But in the moment, it did make things a lot more simple. I mean, Axe had a fantastic run at this event. Being able to, only losing to Leffen and Wizrobe, and also beat Wizrobe twice, and beat Moki, S2J, Zane, Mango. Yeah, like this was no easy tournament run. Yes, he didn't have to play HBox, but HBox should have gotten there. I mean, like he's beating, like, yeah, he's known to have not only experience against Ty and Taj in the Marth matchup, but like, some people think that it's not the best matchup, and he can catch people by surprise. He's beaten Mango a ton. You know, he's able to do pretty good against Falcon, pretty good against Spaceys. Like, there's these really good runs here, and it all came together, and it was crazy. I mean, we had already seen a pretty surprising Summit win with M2K winning Summit 6. Kind of came out of nowhere. It was very surprising. But Summit 8 just completely blindsided people. What in the world is happening? A Pikachu won a large, like, super stacked invitational. It was so surprising. And I mean, we also had Cody getting his breakout here, getting 4th place, kind of helping a little bit with Axe. But I mean, Axe was able to defeat these top players and do such an amazing job. He got 2nd at Gommel, you know, losing to Swedish and Mango, but beating Zane, beating SFAT Wizard Leffen. Like, he had these great runs. 2nd in Genesis, losing to S2J, but outplaced him, beat Zane again. He was the Zane Slayer. Zane was doing so well against Spaceys, just doing really solidly in so many matchups, but Axe was the thorn in his side. Like, Axe was so good at this matchup, and it was very impressive. I mean, also beat Pew Pew, Rishi. Like, he was able to just dispense of these Marths. You know, sometimes he would lose to Plup, he lose some Sheiks, but he won this one, beat Amsa. You know, just so many really good wins, even taking HBox to Game 5 here. This 2019 for Axe is you know, one of the best years in mid-tier history. Now we have a little bit of some difficulty with the wobbling. This is something to where Pikachu has some weak matchups. Puff and Ices are 2 of the main weak matchups. And so Peach a little bit too. But, like, yeah, you had some weaknesses here and there. I don't know if he was going. I don't think he was actually going Pikachu here. But, ended out to do very well for the year and able to beat Zane again. Just had so many wins against Zane. It was very impressive. Now, I kind of want to look towards the future because in terms of rankings, post-COVID, he got 10. This summer rank was really bad for him, not being the highest Pikachu, getting 29th, but he bounced back very well to have a really strong end of the year. And then, kind of went down a little bit, 21. Started doing a little bit better. 2024, kind of mid. But then 2025 was super strong. And I was thinking, it was like I knew he did fine, but what helped him get so high in 2025? And then, getting top 8 at Genesis, did lose to Salt twice, but Salt was top 10 for the summer. Beating Plup, SCJ, an eventual top 10, Plup, SFAT, Soonsay. These are very established players. 5th at Battle BC. Did lose to Zane, but also beat Josh Man, who would become a better win. Soonsay again. Smash Game was weird. Did okay here. Nouns Bowl, not too hot, but the people he lost to were fine. Full House was really important. Full House was huge, beating J-Mook, Nunn, Josh Man, Mango Zane. That is fantastic. As the 13th seed, it's just sometimes you have those seeds where it's okay, they shouldn't be down here, but the results say they should. And it's this is a soft 13, This was a huge event for him. So I get why people wanted to see him back. There's a couple events here and there that didn't do too hot. But losing to Lod and Plup for 17, that sucks. Getting 7th place, did lose to Sir Maris, but had a really good run. Lost to Ginger, kind of stings a little bit. But was able to get some more contender wins. Was doing fine. Collision, not too hot. Beat Triff, that's been, he loses to Peach sometimes. Ices is a bit of a struggle. He went Young Link, it's just I just don't think that's going to work. It doesn't seem like Pikachu's very good at the Ice Climber matchup. I'm sure it's very possible, but that's just not a matchup. He's just hoping not to run into Ices pretty much. Because he has a Fox for Puff. That's one thing that helped him at, which event was it? When did he finally beat H-Box? Here we go. Yeah, Riptide. So he hadn't beaten H-Box since MLG 2014. And he was trying to pick up Fox because it didn't feel like Pikachu was working very well. And he was finally able to do it with his down throw regrabs and all this kinds of stuff. Was able to finally piece it together. Still lost to Cody and Josh Man, but both eventual top 5 players. This was a historic moment for him especially. And still doing fine. The H-Box win is very good. Not the best here, but even though his placings aren't as good as they could be, beating Crudo and Wizrobe is still very good. And Nouns, going back and forth, trade stops with Josh Man, beat Lod, beat Crudo, beat STJ. These are good wins here. Did lose to Josh Man, Cody, Nikki. There's going to be some challenges, but just the ability to get so many good wins here. Hasn't beaten Cody in a while. I'd say Cody is probably which Cody is looking unstoppable right now. But Cody is a tough matchup for him recently. But it's very possible. We think back to, what was it? Flatiron. I think back to this time where he had this really close. I guess I misremembered. I thought he won this, but he had beaten Lucky and Pew Pew and had this really close set, beating Leffen and going very close in the second set as well. He's been able to beat a lot of Foxes. Think back to Silent Wolf. That's kind of overblown, but clearly he's very good at the matchup in terms of with knowing what he's looking for. There's challenges, but there is a lot of good that he has done in that matchup. So his elo has kind of peaked. I think that there's a lot of favor for recent stuff because I would think that 2019 would be a little bit higher, but he's kind of bounced around here. And so when you look at the head-to-heads, I think that's very valuable because he's still competing in modern melee. Some people have kind of fallen away. You have like, some people, like I had mentioned, like he was up there with Leffen. He was up there with Kobold and Westballs, and for a variety of reasons, things kind of fell away. But he has stayed pretty close. Like, yeah, he's gone down into the 20s, in like 17, something like that. But he is still doing very, very well. Now he has a ton of meds experience, a ton of H-box experience, which mostly losses. There are some not included on here. I think this is usually like 2015 when they started using StartDG. A little bit easier to track because they had an account instead of just filling in a random name. Has a lot of losses to Mango, but still a decent amount of wins. Positive on Zane, that is amazing. Positive on Wizrobe, very good too. Keeping Amsa closer than I remembered, honestly. I feel like Amsa was pretty dominant in this. But like has a lot of really good wins. We see that like he's good at the Falcon matchup. He's good at the Fox matchup. He's pretty good at the Sheik matchup. Like, yeah, Jmook is someone he's been struggling with. There's been some that have been a little bit more challenging. He does have a lot of losses to Moki. So for whatever reason, Moki is pretty good against a lot of the mid tiers, like especially like Yoshi. He did lose to Rat Monster's Luigi, and he has lost to DK. But like sometimes I feel like maybe it's not just a mid tier thing, but I feel like Moki is a good game plan, and if he's more familiar, then I think he's able to execute that game plan. Does have some losses to Lod. So I think it's just like, he's pretty solid overall. Did I do? Yeah. Yeah. So if we look at based on opponent's elo, we're seeing a lot of deficits here. We're seeing a lot of losses where it's like some that are really carrying him, like Zane, Wizzy, like doing fine against some of these guys. Only slight losses to like Josh Man and Law and stuff. But like there are some weaknesses here, and I think that beats Law. That's pretty impressive. So when looking at like kind of the overall like melee scope right now, it feels like Axe is able to succeed pretty well. Genesis was a bit rough earlier this year. We had not the best showing, losing to, I believe, Triff and Spark. Hey, got it right. So he's had some Peach losses recently, not even just to Lod. Like we have Triff, we had Surmaris, we had just a bunch of different Peaches being able to take him close. Like, yeah, he had the Armada, got close but never quite got that win. And then sometimes struggling with Sheik. So there's some matchups that's maybe more common that Axe feels better in, but it's kind of a mixed bag. This weekend we have let me see. We have Pat's house, and I think that's actually a pretty good opportunity for Axe. There's no Cody, so that's been a pretty regular loss. His only Cody is pre-COVID, like win against Cody's pre-COVID. But him being the 5 seed here, I feel like it's a bit of a challenging bracket in winners for him. He has Aura. That is, I don't think he's necessarily lost to Aura, but Aura is on the up and up. Very good Peach. Just got top 8 at Full House Siege. And then Moki, who he has beaten, but it's like 2-7. I think he'd much rather be on this side of the bracket. He's gone much closer with Josh Man. Taking a few from Jmook, like, yeah, deficit. He's also, he makes his money on Zane. Like, Zane definitely could still pull out these wins, but it's like 50-50 compared to some that might be like 75-25. Like there's some that are just going to be easier. Would likely play Meds, which is someone that has played against him a lot. Yeah, he has most of those wins, but sometimes when you have someone from your region, it can be like, okay, they know a lot more about me, and so like you have less confidence in your ability to get reads. Sometimes they kind of soul read you and you get discouraged and you get kind of in your own head about it. Yeah, I mean, Spark is someone that beat him recently, so if there's some upsets to throw around, like if I mean, it probably wouldn't happen to where Axe and Spark would make top 8 from these. It's possible. But even still, if he loses to Aura, there'd be another piece most likely in losers with Malachi. And like, yeah, he's beat SUJ a bunch, but like, if it's Khalid, maybe his Fox isn't as sharp. So like, there's risk here. And in this top 8, he's gone in game 5 with Ratmaster. So it's like, it's unclear. I do think that clearly he is capable of beating anyone in this bracket. It's just how likely is he going to beat them. So I think with this bracket, I feel like he's pretty locked for top 8. I'm worried about Ratmaster, but you know, he was able to lock in last time when they played a Supernova. I definitely think that he has a solid chance against most people. I mean, he could beat Moki. Moki's looking really solid right now, but also kind of inconsistent. So he could catch Moki lacking. And in general, like if we look at his future events, this is a good way of doing it, where you can just kind of look at what they're registered for. He's going to Tipped Off. So this will be kind of later in the year. So unclear how well he'll be able to get ranked for the summer. But Tipped Off is a great opportunity for him to have a high placing. I'm sure he's going to like Gomel and Battle BC and stuff like that. But like, I'm definitely curious to see how Axe because he's shown that he's able to adapt. It's not just the same cheese that's worked since 2014. Like, he's able to adapt and do these different things, and he's a smart player. He's studious. So I definitely think that he can stay in that top 10. Now, he's going to have a little bit of a comeback because his only event so far is not the best this year. But, you know, does have at least one solid win in KJH. A couple others that's not too bad either. But, you know, he has his work cut out for him. I think that, you know, Pat's House will be a good opportunity for him to get some wins. You know, who knows? Maybe he gets the winners finals by beating Aura, Moki, HBox. And it's just like, boom, I overcame a tough bracket and beat them all. What are you going to do about that? It could be Zane in winners finals. We could see Axe winners out of Grants. I don't know. Melee is just wide open right now. Like, yeah, Cody seems so dominant, but he doesn't go to everything. And so when you look at the tournament, like, if Cody's not there, and even still when Cody's there, he's dropped sets. He's lost to Swift, a Pikachu, and he's lost to HBox. So, like, there are weaknesses in every player right now. And I think that Axe is someone that can exploit it. So I'm very curious to see what will happen from Axe. I'm excited to see him compete in this year. And, yeah,